All right, welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
We've got my wife in here with us, Brittany.
You brought it up.
I brought up a weird fact about weird jobs and tips whenever we were talking about that. So then that led some of our producers.
I guessed.
You did guess. I mean, it was pretty easy. Dear.
Si, do you know where Brittany worked in college? Was it in college?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know where Brittany worked in college?
No, I don't.
Are you excited to find out?
Yeah.
The list is long, actually.
I was just about to say,
But the first stop.
this was my first stop, and I do want to preface this by saying I didn't really have a choice. I had applied to every restaurant in the area.
But one in particular saw you and said, you're a fit.
But one in particular was the first, and I was in no.
To be fair, that's kind of like speaks volumes.
Yeah, you had to have a job.
I had to have a job. It was actually very crucial. I didn't have help. No one was helping me at the time. So, and I had just got an apartment with my best friend, and her mom, who I've known since I was very little, was the co-signer. So I was like, I'm not going to let her down. I've got to get an income.
So you decided you needed to be delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. Isn't that the catchphrase? Isn't that what they put on the back of those shirts?
I've only been one.
Unfortunately.
Now I can't wait. Delightfully tactful.
Delightfully tacky.
Si, have you ever been to a Hooters establishment here in the United States of America?
No, to be honest, no, I haven't. And I'm shocked that I'm saying that.
Well, good for you.
Why are you shocked you're saying that?
Because I love women.
Oh.
Okay. I've always drove by them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just never pulled in?
And never pulled in.
My grandmother went to Hooters once.
For real?
Yeah, it was an accident.
The same one that got caught in a high-speed chase?
Yes, my very Church of Christ grandmother and 3 other old ladies were on a church trip. And they were like, that looks like a nice restaurant. Serves wings.
They had no idea.
Serves wings and much, much more.
They have not been back. They have not been back.
Did they eat?
I was about to say, did they stay?
I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
But
We may have to have your grandmama in here one day, man.
I don't know
No, we need to have her on.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they got spike stripped in West Monroe. Not many people
she's
have ever done
accidentally
that.
been to a Hooters.
That's so impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Because I always
She's lived a lot of life. She's 92, so she's probably got some stories.
even
don't-
more impressive.
You don't think of stuff like, like you needed a job.
I needed a job. I had no
Okay?
business
'Cause, like,
turning away an income.
When I'm watching Western movies, they always talk about how bad she works in a saloon. Hey, folks, you gotta live, okay?
Gotta have a job.
And
Gotta
listen,
have a job. So
I even told them I could, because like I said, I had applied to every restaurant in the area. And I even told them when they called me that I couldn't start for another week. So
Just in case.
just in hope,
Just in case Chili's called, you're like, I'm
someone
going
else
there.
was gonna call me, and they didn't. And like I said, I was in no position to turn away an income. I'm not proud of it, but I had to do what I had to do.
Well, and the reason this all got brought up, because apparently our friends over at Hooters are in the news because they're trying to rebrand their restaurant to a family-friendly atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well, I read the article. According to them, like, the original owners are back involved who sold it, and they still own like 22 of them, and theirs are a much different standard. They didn't have a standards policy in place.
They had no policies in place.
There you go. See,
It
there's
wasn't
somebody
very
who worked there.
I'm pretty sure there's like a Netflix special on how unhealthy of a work environment
It was pretty much one of the most toxic jobs I've ever had.
There you
How
go.
long did you work there?
4 months. 4 months. And then a friend of mine that I had met in college, she actually got me a job at Valvoline, changing oil. So
There you go.
if you need your oil changed or your tires rotated, I can also help you with
You
that.
just,
See?
I have so many more questions.
See?
no. See, that's what this is great. I really is.
I did what I had to do.
Well, no. That's and most people, they don't think about. Well, wait a minute, good grief, Hey, shut up, you idiot! You ain't never been in a bind where you need a job.
Yeah. Well, most of them
Don't look down on me.
most would rather sit home and collect a check
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
go work something
Well,
that
no,
they feel is beneath them.
Because
right?
I fought
Like-
that my whole life.
Yeah,
I said, wait a minute. That is not for you.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you. Get off your butt, go to work.
Do
There
the
you
work.
go. Yeah,
Valvoline?
Valvoline, baby.
yeah.
I don't know if you were the hottest
you have
waitress at Hooters, but you were definitely the hottest girl to ever
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Listen, I had a lot of guys looking at, but I also had some haters at
Did you?
Valvoline too, because I'd get these guys come in their big jacked up trucks.
And she
they-
don't know what she's doing.
They'd see me go down below and they'd be like, is she the one that's about to change my oil? And they throw a little fit and my boss would always back me up like she's certified. But in my head, I'm like, you wouldn't be here if you could do it yourself.
Oh,
So
go on.
I'm going to go
girl.
change
Hey.
your oil in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Go
Mark my
ahead
time.
with your bad self.
Yeah, go ahead, you little man complex self. You driving that jacked
Yeah.
up truck up in here?
How
Go
long
ahead.
did you work at Valvoline?
Oh, that was probably almost a year.
And she still got the scar on her arm to
I
prove
do.
it.
I actually have a scar on the inside of my arm because the burn sleeves are made for men. And my wrists are tiny and dainty.
It's kind of like the outfit at your previous job was made for women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Very much
a man
so.
wouldn't fit in that very well.
No.
Those
A
orange
couple guys.
those orange shorts would be a little unforgiving, if you will.
Yeah.
Potentially, they'd change from an owl to a camel. I don't know.
Nope. Anyway, burn sleeves.
Or a moose.
The burn sleeves were not made for women. And the exhaust pipe was wrapped around the oil filter, and I had reached up to unscrew the oil filter, and
I don't know what you're talking
It
about.
was hot.
my burn sleeve slipped down and it sizzled the
Yeah,
inside
then
of
you
my
heard a little
wrist.
Shh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hot oil proceeded to drip
There you
down.
go.
It was
Oh.
very dramatic.
Ah,
Yeah.
see, but that's what you got to have, man. You got to find your woman with a work ethic, man. She work at Hooters. She work at Valvoline.
I went back into the restaurant business
Yeah.
after Valvoline.
I want to know how
but,
many people have gone from Hooters to Valvoline, just in America.
I was desperate to get out of Hooters.
well,
Yeah.
that checks out according to Netflix.
Did you rock that blue jumpsuit?
Yeah, it was all wool.
Did it say Brittany on it?
It did.
Yeah. Hey, I
You
prefer.
still have it?
I
No.
was just fixing that. I know somebody that'll give you big money for that.
Yeah, Jacob Mayo probably
Oh,
pay you
he
top
would.
dollar for that.
He'll make you a good deal. of
General
it.
Vintage, baby.
On a
Yeah.
Valvoline woman's jumpsuit.
A navy blue wool jumpsuit.
But I'm a firm believer.
And I kept it in a locker at work. We have black steel toe. Yeah, all the things.
Everybody needs to start at a job where your name is on your shirt
Yeah.
to some level.
Super
Right.
one. My
Yeah.
name was on my apron. I burned that.
A blue
There you
collar
go.
job.
Yeah. Like at Tyner Peters, I had a name tag said Justin Martin across it. Like everybody needs to start where your name's on your shirt, where nobody knows who the crap you are,
I've had a lot of jobs.
and then figure it out.
Did you have a name tag at Hooters?
Yes, I did.
How did you?
Was it a stage name,
I
or did you
should've
go with
been.
your real one?
Did you have to be very careful when putting the pin? Doesn't seem
'Cause
like
there
a lot of
wasn't much
extra
to-
material. Terrifying.
Yeah, and especially because we had to pay for our uniforms. So I was not trying to mess my uniform up because it was coming out of my paycheck.
So did y'all had to pay for like them pantyhose they wear
Yes,
there?
there's a vending machine in the back of every Hooters.
It come from a vending machine?
Comes from a vending machine. You pay for your socks and your pantyhose.
I see where they got the tacky part now.
That's tacky.
And
What about they give you them orange shorts?
Huh?
The orange shorts they give you them?
Yeah, they gave me the orange shorts.
Well, that's awful.
They gave
kind
me
of 'em.
the orange short. I got my first uniform free. It's the least they could do.
Yeah. There you go.
So
Do you
It
still
was
have that
quite
one?
no, there is no evidence other than the IRS
And this podcast.
and this podcast
that
Yeah.
you worked
up
at
until
Hooters.
now that I worked at Hooters. I worked very hard to bury that, but I am
Well,
unashamed.
She'll deny it.
I have found Jesus and I am
You got a
unashamed of my
different shirt.
past.
You got a different name across your chest today.
Yeah.
Her shirt today says Yeshua. The
Yeah.
King is coming,
Yeah,
people.
there you go. And look, so it was really kind of a weird moment when last year we went to Cancun for New Year,
Yeah, that was full
and
circle.
with some friends, a bunch of friends, and we were tired of eating out at the fancy Mexican places.
I would never get tired of that.
You would.
No.
I mean, you
No
really
such thing.
would. Yeah, no, you
I
really
eat
would,
Mexican every day for the rest of my life.
buddy.
Yeah.
Just trust me, you would.
Okay, fine.
It was a weird deal. So we were like, national championship was coming on. We said we're going somewhere American. Got on there, Googled American restaurant near us. in
There's only
Cancun.
one.
Hooters, baby, which then allowed her chance to explain to our friends face to face
Because he brought it up again and was like, well, Brittany used to
it's
work
a
here.
great story.
And I was like,
Well-
stop telling people that.
it's a great story. I'm going to tell our kids.
Right.
You are not.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yes, I am, because
If
it
he don't
proved-
tell him, I'm going to tell him.
Well, I'm at least gonna watch Big Daddy with them and be like, "Y'all want to know something about your mom?"
Oh my
No,
gosh, not
that
Big
always
Daddy.
reminds me of the I mean, look, I knew mom before she was mom.
Well,
And
that
I've always loved that because people don't think about it.
Martin,
what?
we had ants and it was a problem.
Ants
Oh.
in your
Ants.
pants?
In
No,
the house? In the
in
house?
my, even worse,
Oh, no.
In your pantry?
in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
all
oh,
around
yeah.
the sink.
Oh.
And I was like, "This stinks," but you know what?
What?
Our friends over at Pestie had me locked and loaded.
There you
I
go.
zipped that thing on, poured it in there, and said, "Bzzz." I wish I had it. Put my gloves on, walked around. You know what we haven't had ever since?
Ants
Ants.
in your pant?
Or in
tree?
my pantry, or in my pants, or in my kitchen.
There you go.
Pestie rules, and it's super easy.
Yeah, and you can. It's DIY. I mean, they
If I
take
can do
care
it,
of
you can do it.
Yeah, the other guys charge over $800 a year. Pestie gets you going for just $35 a treatment, and it's made for your location, bugs, and climate. Look, it's springtime; it won't quit raining. Your house a lot of times is the high spot. Bugs are going to the high spot. Water everywhere; they're coming to the high spot. That's your house. So if you want to evict them, you can get with Pestie. Look, Pestie gets rid of over 100 types of bugs. I'm talking spiders, ants, roaches, scorpions. You name it.
Everything you just said, I dislike being in my home.
And there you go. Look, Pestie is also kid and pet friendly. The pesticides they
Everything
ship
you just said, I enjoy being in my home.
the pesticides they ship are fully registered, and they've been used all around the country in hospitals and schools, so you know you can trust it. Pestie offers a 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. If the bugs don't go away, they'll give you a full refund. Pestie's kit includes a sprayer, mixing bag, pesticide gloves, and instructions you can complete in less than 10 minutes.
They don't even mention it's kind of fun.
Now is the time to protect your home from bugs with Pestie. Go to pestie.com/
Duck,
for an extra 10% off your order. That's PESTIE.com/
duck.
for an extra 10% off.
I'm looking and it says, okay, Hooters is expanding its family-friendly restaurant. You know, check out the model, the uniform. Well, I wish them success with trying to come back modestly. Okay,
With not having to live in that world to be
Yeah.
a successful
Yeah.
restaurant.
And I'm here for that because they have great wings. I love their
Well-
wings. I wasn't allowed to eat them.
well, no,
They're
it's,
my
it's
shifts,
a business. Okay, it's a business, and hey,
Yeah.
you know,
For real, that grilled cheese and curly fries strap.
Yeah, they have great
It was
food.
so
I've
good.
only been to Hooters once, and
And
it
they're-
was because we were a state away from my parents, so I felt safe. And I had cash, so they couldn't see the debit card.
Wow.
And my friend Luke was like, "Hey, give me some cash, man." I was like, "No." He was
you
like,
gotta-
"My mom's can see
you
Hooters on
gotta
the
do
debit
this
card."
yourself.
Yeah, we
man.
have very different lives.
I said, "Eat it, son. Your mom's gonna see you at Hooters. You're gonna get in trouble." And I was rude of me. I apologize, Luke, if you're listening.
But no, the reason I'm going to tell the boys is because it proves you're not above anything, right? Like if you need a job because you signed on the dotted line to make a commitment to pay for something, you go get that job.
Yeah, and
Whatever
I didn't have
it
any
is.
help.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
She-
just me.
She was one of them at 18 that ran out of mom and dad.
Yes.
Gone.
I left.
I'll figure this crap out.
Yes.
Right?
Now,
And
my
so-
dad, I will say, I want to give him a little credit because he ended up coming around. I think it was my sophomore year of college, and he's a veteran, so he signed over his VA benefits, which gave me a housing allowance at
There you
that
go.
time. So
Yeah.
that was, which I still worked on top of that, but it was nice to have that little break. But at the time,
Valvoline.
but at Hooters time, I was on my own. No one was helping me.
And when you sign on the dotted line, you've got to do it.
You've got to do it.
There's no forgiveness. There's none of that. You signed up for it. You got to do it.
And my
And-
home life was very toxic. I had to get out of the situation I was in. So
And that's something I want the boys to know.
Well,
Hey, go
see, that-
figure it out, man.
That's a gold girl. Your story.
yeah,
Okay, that's
do it.
I look at it as okay. Hey, you done that with a badge of honor.
Because you got to,
yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
all
Well,
have.
the
Hey,
best
I've
part,
got no choice. I've got to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's helping me. Okay.
Well, and
So,
it's not
yeah.
like, it's the best part of the story to me. We were talking before, and she was telling us some stuff that we're not going to say on this podcast, but the Netflix documentary is not lying.
It's not lying.
And a pretty toxic place. And then Brittany said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go change oil. And as a man who goes to get his oil changed, there's not many of you in there.
No.
No,
And so it's
and
like-
if they are, they generally have the clipboard and meet you at the deal before the
Yeah.
oil change
Oh, yeah.
gets.
Yeah,
They're
no, they
they're
do.
not the ones under the lift.
You don't have
Like,
near big enough mustache to work where I go.
Yeah,
I
But
can rotate your tires too.
there you go.
I actually need that done.
Yeah. I'll hop on over there.
See,
No, because hey, my hat's off to you, darling.
Thank you.
Really is.
Thank you.
Because you had issues, okay, that and you handled it.
Yes. Best I could.
See, that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Cheers to you, Mama.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. My hat, I'm
She wasn't
serious.
even cheers.
Because people don't think about that, okay? Hey, you have no choice in this.
Yeah. And I was not
gotta
going to let.
I've got to provide food and lodging and all this for myself. How am I going to do it?
Well, you do have a choice, and you can either lay there and
Yeah, and say
wallow
poor me.
in it,
yeah,
poor me, or you can get out there,
or you can get out of it.
yeah, you can put your britches on,
got out of it.
put
Yeah.
your shoes on, and go to work.
Yeah.
Sling wings, sling oil,
Yeah.
sling something.
Sling something.
What
For
you
me,
sling? You sling gum?
fertilizer, fertilizer, and Quick buddy. When I started at TP Outdoors, my first one, I worked in the warehouse, and I
For
learned
y'all that don't know, that's 50-pound bags.
that quick
Hey.
that Quick 80.
Well, okay.
We only
yeah.
sold
I
80.
did-
I was
pounds.
about to
50 and on
complain
up.
about pumpkins and watermelons, but
Yeah.
that's not quite as heavy. But I never forget that
Yeah.
first October. I worked in a grocery store and all them pumpkins showed up. I said, "What am I supposed to do with those?" And Rick Cody looked at me and said, "Move them." And I was like,
Because my mother
what?
told me this when I was a teenager. Okay, and it stood the test of time. Don't you ever look down on nobody.
No.
Yeah.
I actually love
No.
that job too.
No.
Like I got to talk to
No.
a bunch of people, got to help. The best part was loading the stuff for the old people.
No,
Right.
yeah.
Because I was a
That
kid,
couldn't
right?
do it.
I was 17, 18. So like you got to help out your grandparents every day. I mean, pretty much you were putting bags of Quick in like a Lincoln Continental, like, because they's about to go home and grind over burying a post, but still nothing make you more irrationally angry than that bag of Quick being busted, and then you end up with concrete all in your shoes. And then you're like,
"That's not irrationally angry. That is
No.
certified anger."
That's
Yeah,
valid.
you can't get it out.
yeah. And but it taught me a lot about, like, it taught me what I didn't want to do for the rest of my life.
Whew.
Like I didn't want to load
Oh.
fertilizer for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. I didn't want to.
That's a neck
I didn't
down
want to
job.
thread. I didn't want to thread gas pipe for the rest of my life because we did that too. Like we cut pipe and threaded it and all that. But it's a cool skill to learn.
Oh, no.
But like this ain't what I want to do. And my dad, who was a member of the plumber and pipe fitters union, that's all he ever did was that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, this I don't think your boy wants to do that. I decided I'm gonna figure out a way to work with my brain.
Oh,
not
that's
my
real
back,
work.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
real physical work.
yeah. It's tough work too,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So, but I'm thankful for my time there. And I was in the warehouse for a few years, and then I ended up at the gun counter slinging guns. So
That's
like,
what I'm
I
thankful
I
for
worked my
Hooters.
way up, man.
He's thankful.
I mean, Hooters paid my rent for 4 months, and that was a necessity. And I'm thankful for Valvoline. Like you said, how many women do you know that can do that?
Not Allison.
I'll
see,
teach her.
'cause I look back.
No, you won't.
Mama worked
She
on
won't.
B-17 bombers.
That's awesome.
Well, she was a riveter, Rosie the Riveter.
That's awesome.
And then look at you. You ended up riveting duck call read. Genetic.
Yeah.
Family history, man.
Oh,
You got
yeah. And look, she was the first one that worked on television.
Yeah.
So she was the
awesome.
pioneer all the way.
Yeah.
She ever put one through her finger like you did?
Oh gosh,
Probably.
the
I would
B-52
not
to the
doubt it.
hand.
Yeah, I would not doubt it.
Those were some bigger rivets.
Yeah, them was bigger. Them was a lot more. Them was a lot tougher. But no, you do what you got to do in the moment, man. You figure it out, and you do what you got to do. And I'm thankful that my kids come from that kind of stock.
I was a waiter for
Uh-oh.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, I couldn't be.
10 years.
It was right behind Hooters is the funny part. I was just past them. But I was like, I don't fit in here, gang. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I don't think the service industry is not one that would fit my personality. Because if you want to get lippy with me, then I'm just
Well,
gonna
that's
get
why everybody-
lippy right back.
If you
Like,
think you want to work in retail, you got to go work at a grocery store first because nobody wants to buy their groceries and they're mad.
No.
and then you go somewhere where they want to buy stuff like guns and fishing
Hey.
stuff, and it's way easier.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you mess with the public in any
capacity.
hey, you got a tough one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mind
'Cause
my
you
retail.
You
but-
can never please them.
I liked serving more than retail.
Where'd you work at retail?
Huh? Home Goods. I was opening up boxes in the back. That was actually my very first job.
Home Goods.
Home Goods.
Yep.
And then I also worked at Opryland, at a place that was kind of like for clubbing clothes.
Whoa. Journeys?
No,
Oh.
gosh, I cannot remember the name.
Express
of it now.
back then?
It was kind of like an express, but not as
I was
Classy?
nice as an express.
yeah,
It was like a city.
Was it like
Trends.
delightfully tacky?
Yeah.
the unrefined.
Yeah. But then actually from that job, that was the first time I ever went on unemployment because a big flood happened in Nashville in 2010 and my Opryland got flooded and I didn't have a job. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Hey, Martin.
Hey.
There's a sucker born every minute, and I don't want our listeners to be one of them because that big wireless company keep talking about free phone this, free phone that. They're going to give you a free phone. I'm here to tell you,
It's a scam.
it comes with a lot of fine print. They require you to sign up for 4 lines. Then they got an activation fee. Then they got this fee. Then they got a fee just for touching
Don't
the
let
phone.
them scam you, folks.
There's just plus.
it.
At the end of the day, Martin, you've paid for that free phone 3 times over. Pure Talk, our sponsor, and my wireless company has a much better offer. With a qualifying plan of just $35 a month, you can get a brand new Samsung Galaxy A26 for free. The Samsung Galaxy A26 has virtually indestructible Gorilla Glass. You might even be able to use this phone, Si. It captures beautiful wide-angle photos with a next-generation camera lens. All you got to do is switch to Pure Talk. For just $35 a month, you get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data with the mobile hotspot, all on America's most dependable 5G network. I made the switch, kept my number. That was my favorite part, and you can do it in 10 minutes. And they do a ton of stuff for veterans. They're always donating money, helping veteran causes outside. Even though you can't get behind cell phones, I think you can get behind a company
That's right.
that supports our vets. All you got to do is go to puretalk.com/duck to make the switch. Again, that's puretalk.com/duck to claim your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan when you switch to Pure Talk Wireless by Americans for Americans.
That's why I was almost scared to come on and talk about it, but at the same time, I shouldn't be ashamed of it because I had to do what I had to do.
One person, it was worse coming to you and telling it.
Yeah. And it led me here in this seat right now. Like
Whoa.
Murfreesboro's
You
where I
ended up
met
in the
him.
duck call room via Hooters.
No.
You're the only person that can say that. Allison ended up here because of Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying?
See?
I ended up in the duck call room via Old Chicago.
Y'all were both slanging biscuits. Look at that. Golly. Unbelievable. Look at there.
What year was that? What year were you at Hooters?
2011. No. It was towards the end of 2010, beginning of 2011.
100%. Allison was at Red Lobster at the same time.
Cheddar Bay biscuit.
Oh, I hate those things. We ate them she'd bring home like 6 of them every night.
Yeah. I remember, man, leftovers. That was a big deal back then. Yeah, when I met Brittany, she was at, what is that, Old Chicago?
Old Chicago.
Pizza joint.
By
that
the
checks
grace
out.
of God, there I go.
For real, though.
And next thing you know,
Yeah.
like Hunter's going to have a really interesting time one day telling his kids about the time he worked with 4 crazy rednecks up in this duck call room.
And they're going to go,
You-
can I watch it? Well, just not one episode
Yeah.
where I had a giant hickey on my neck. How was North Carolina? I'm just kidding.
Oh, you are back from your trip, Hunter. How was your trip to visit your woman?
Lady
Oh, it
food.
was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah.
How was your time at Mellow Mushroom?
I love mellow mushrooms.
I didn't get to go.
Oh.
You're well, yes.
Good for you,
A
man.
win for the pizza people. I
Yeah.
don't go to a chain.
Well, I wanted to try it.
Mellow
Uh,
mushroom's good.
It's fine.
It looked fun. We just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to start with the pizza, Hunter.
That's
Yeah,
what-
that's-
what
I'm
I
never
always
giving you
go,
any
bud.
advice. You start with pizza.
You
and then
always,
make
when
out.
you're having fun, you always run out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever were you doing to run out of time? No, I'm kidding. It's a family show, man. I'm kidding.
It's a family show. We're talking about Hooters.
I was
and
just about to say,
Valvoline.
is it?
Oh, boy.
We're talking about
It is a family show because, well, and that is,
we're talking about all things that make a family: the clean, the dirty, the messy. It
Right.
doesn't matter.
and
It's
there's
all part of being a
somebody
family.
listening to this that is right now driving to a job
that they hate.
That
that
they
they
hate.
hate.
Yeah.
There's a way out. You
And
know?
they're
Yeah.
sitting there going, I'm going to this. I hate it. The boss is a jerk. It's it might even be probably you would say that job was a little demeaning.
Yeah.
Probably more than a little.
Let me tell you, we had to stand, and I can only speak for my Hooters. I don't know about all the rest of the Hooters, but
Netflix will speak for you.
in the like when we would get there at the beginning of our shift, we all had to stand in a line, and our manager would come one by one and make us do a spin to make sure that we were up to par for the shift as far as looks are concerned.
Mama, you want to stand up and take a spin?
Stop it, Martin.
I wore this big old
girl.
baggy shirt. And I'm like, no, I'm not
Go ahead.
Yeah, but there's somebody that's headed to
girl.
a job they hate.
Yeah.
And I mean, your story is one of, hey, you might have to go change oil instead of do that job, and it's coming, that opportunity. And then how do you like
Yeah, but
it
that
now?
was an
Yeah.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was an upgrade.
It really was.
Okay, no.
Yeah, you went from no clothes
Yeah.
to a full wool suit, and you said,
Yeah.
"I'll take this."
Yes,
Right.
in a heartbeat.
Boy, that ought to tell you something right there. Like, golly, go from wearing nothing to
I don't want to be naked.
wearing.
I covered
Huh?
up quick.
Well, I mean, just think, in Tennessee it's hot in the summertime. You
I was
hop
just
up,
about
you
to
hop
say
up
that.
under them things in a wool sweater.
Yeah,
son.
it was.
And
You want to talk about hot?
And when
Yeah.
you're under
Yeah.
the bay, you have these giant fans like back underneath the bay that are pointing towards you when you're under a vehicle, but it is blowing nothing but hot
Hot
air
air.
on you.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
hot air.
Yeah.
And then you have the hot
From
Yeah,
the
'cause
hot
from the
engine.
engine.
Yeah, because somebody just
Yep.
pulled in there with a 240-degree vehicle up underneath everything,
Oh, yeah.
and it's getting
Yeah.
sucked down in there. By
And you're
that
wearing
air.
a wool jumpsuit. And it,
Yeah.
it
and
that
that's
was
still better than slinging wings.
yes. Because
That's hard to figure, ain't it?
I had
That's
like I
pretty-
said, I can't talk about everything that I experienced there, but that was 100 times better at Valvoline than what I was experiencing at Hooters.
But just like you're talking about, like our friend Josie Wells, man, endeavor to persevere.
Perseverance.
I wasn't giving up.
Endeavor to persevere, man. Just keep on pushing through because you're listening to this. You're driving somewhere, most likely, and you're either loving where you're headed, or you're hating where you're headed, or you're indifferent about where you're headed. But where you're headed ain't going to be where you end up.
Jeremiah 29, verse 11. God speaking. You have no idea the plans I have for you.
Yeah.
Declares the
Not-
Lord.
Not to harm you, but to give you hope and
And
to
a-
give you a future.
Yeah.
and look at my future.
And everybody's
Hello.
Sitting in my
future.
future.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. Yes, yeah. You're going to have trials and tribulations on this planet.
Ain't no doubt.
Okay. It's how you can only control one thing, what you do.
And
Okay. And I don't wish what happened to this young lady happened to nobody. Okay. I only want the best for all of you.
But the reality is it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
But
It's
you can make it
going
out.
to happen.
Yeah. And then, hey, here's what it is. Life goes on.
Yeah.
Life hits you. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Ooh, life hit me a few times.
Oh, no. Yeah.
and now look at you. You're
Yeah.
one of them women at church with a big white SUV and the twins, and you go eat
Yeah.
Mexican food out.
Who knew?
And
Who's this girl?
we go get chips and queso and
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I'm an orthodontist assistant now.
Yeah. So-
If you
Look
need
at-
braces, I can also help you out with
yeah.
that.
like-
Change your tires, get you a new beer, and change your braces all in one.
Swiss Army knife, if you will.
I'm a Renaissance woman. That's what I like to call myself.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Boy, there's a story about that
we
around
got-
here.
A Renaissance man used to work.
But the
here.
point of the deal is don't get stuck in your Hooters, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They should put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, don't get stuck
Yeah.
in your Hooters.
Don't that'll preach, Martin.
Yeah.
I will preach.
Whatever it is, don't
Don't-
get stuck there.
Don't
Like-
ever give up your dream.
Yeah, keep stepping, keep pushing,
Okay.
keep chasing.
persevering. Okay. Because guess what? The Lord's done told you, hey, I got something planned for you.
Yeah.
And it might not even
Right.
be your dream. Like you
Yeah.
don't know. I don't want to speak for Brittany, but I don't think Brittany's dream in life was to be a mom of twin boys living in West Monroe, Louisiana, being an orthodontist assistant.
Coming from Nashville.
But
no.
look at you now.
But look, but now you would say,
This is the-
Yeah,
this
come
was
on,
life.
come on over here, girl. Yeah.
quit getting handsy.
I'm trying to be like Godwin and Paula.
Hey,
Martin's getting handsy, y'all.
Well, she
I
said
tell
she
you
was
when I
going.
met this lady, hey, don't let her go get away.
I guarantee you. Hey, sometimes in there I was like, why not?
No. I said, hey, look, don't let this.
And now
one
we've been
wait.
together, what, 12 years?
Oh,
12
yeah.
total, 10
Yeah,
married.
it'll be 12 in September, 10 married, and a
Y'all's
month.
anniversary's in May, huh?
Yeah, the end of
Well,
May.
see, neither one of y'all knew it, but God knew it.
God
Oh,
knew it.
didn't he?
Woo!
Yeah,
And he laughed the whole
No,
time.
no, I'm serious. That's why God does about 3 things a lot. He laughs a lot. He cries a lot because, hey, he loves the human race so much
Yeah.
that he gave his only one son for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, we just got through celebrating
Yeah.
all that, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that was just past. Okay?
Yeah.
And it just, that's why
Yeah, Easter hit different for me this year for sure because I just kind of
Yeah, which, by the way,
looked back at everything.
on Easter, we did the Saturday night thing with y'all.
Yeah, we went all together Saturday night.
You know what his son told me?
who?
Carter.
Oh, it is no telling.
Let me tell you what
Yeah.
Carter. I'm gonna start calling him Carter the literal. That's because that's what he is.
He
He's
got a thing
he's
about-
very literal.
You don't know
There's
how
no
to.
figurative. He looked at me at church and he said, "Oh, hey Martin, I didn't recognize you. You look different." And I was like, "Oh well, I'm not wearing camouflage." He said, "No, there's nothing on top of your head."
He goes, "You're missing a lot of hair."
He realized he was bald.
Carter's like going through his head, going, "He's always had hair."
Right,
He's-
look.
But no, he's just always had a hat
It's
on.
all an illusion.
I got so tickled.
No.
Like, because I mean, the bald jokes, the fat jokes, I've heard them all. Like, they don't bother me.
I
But to
love
see it coming from Carter,
Well, no.
I got so freaking.
Because he didn't even think about it. He
No, it was just.
He just
It was from
Yeah,
brain
wasn't
to
no-
mouth.
it was
wasn't no
factual.
evil intended.
No.
it was
Yeah.
just factual.
No, just factual.
And then we went and
Out
had
of the mouths of babes.
and then we went to Javi P's and had a dance party.
Yeah,
Johnny D's kids taught my kids how to dance. So,
Yeah,
we
we-
in the middle of the Mexican restaurant.
And my shoes took a salsa bath. But
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
them
yeah.
clean, if y'all were wondering.
Oh.
By the next
Oh.
service,
Glad they were
by
safe.
Sunday, we were wearing the same shoes. Hunter, don't stop because spring is here. We can't stop now. Your yard's growing and it might get out of control, but you want it to look good. You need to go over to fastgrowingtrees.com and transform your yard into a dream outdoor space in no time at all. Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers. And the people in this room make it 2,000,003. We're counting y'all together, by the way.
Oh,
I was about to say.
that's what
can
about
you
them?
count?
Well, y'all got fig trees and lemon trees and
Limes.
I got one fig tree.
You got a fig tree. I bought a banana tree last year. It grew real fast. You can get anything you want. The website you can get lost in because so many, and of the 2 million happy customers, there's 70,000 5-star reviews, and a lot of those have pictures so you can see what it's going to look like when it gets to your yard. And if you got a big yard, small yard, maybe even you don't have a yard, Fast Growing Trees has over 6,000 plants to fit any space, from indoor plants to fruit trees or full-size privacy trees and more. Fast Growing Trees offers a wide variety of plants, including fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, and shrubbery, all tailored to your climate and space.
Easy online ordering process and quick delivery straight to your door. Plus, with their Alive and Thrive guarantee and expert support, your plants will arrive healthy and you'll receive guidance on choosing the right plants and learn how to properly care for them.
Go USA.
We make
I
a good tag
guarantee
team.
it. Yeah.
And we're in Zone 8, so I know exactly what will Alive, Thrive, and guarantee to work here. And if you want to get on that, this spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on the select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the code
Duck.
at checkout. That's an additional 15% at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code
Duck.
at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com code.
One more time. Duck.
Now that's the perfect time to plant. Use
One more time. Duck.
to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply if you use the code.
Duck.
Time out. We do have to bring something up, Si,
What?
about these two.
Time around the table.
Well, no. So after church on Saturday, we went to Saturday night service together. I was like, "Hey, we're going to Hobby P's if y'all want to join." Martin was less than enthused about going with 5 kids to a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I had
which
to convince
makes
him.
sense. And Brittany goes, "You never let me do anything fun, Martin."
Yeah.
Justin, she calls him Justin.
Yeah.
I call him Justin.
You never let me do anything fun, Justin. And I had to call a time out
Yeah.
because just the last week alone, I believe 2 times
they were out till about 10:30. The
At-
moms club,
At some sort of moms, they call it a Bible
It's
study.
a Bible study.
but they eat
either
and then
a
they
code
bring
for-
home leftovers,
Yeah.
and then they sit there and talk till 10:30 at night. But they don't ever get to do nothing fun.
Yeah.
You know,
That was such a fun conversation that
I
night,
was
too.
like, "What in the world?"
Yeah,
But
she said we never do anything. Then we all did go eat Mexican food.
yeah,
I meant just because he doesn't like to I don't think he's comfortable yet taking the boys out places because it's a lot.
I saw them.
No.
They told everybody in the restaurant hello and threw something at each one of them.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, and
It's
it's
a
not
lot.
only that. I just don't want to be the people. That may be somebody's one night to go eat out or go do something, and I don't want my kids to be the one that
So
ruin
ruin it.
their night
Ruin
out.
it.
You know, because like if
Yeah. I get
everybody
that.
in the world thought my kids were as cute as they think they are, this wouldn't be a problem,
Right.
right? But because in their world, they're two, and they're still extremely selfish because you can't teach them nothing else. That the whole world is theirs and nobody else's. So that's why I am like I am. It ain't like it ain't like I don't want to hang out with y'all. Like your kids are hilarious, but and I can't wait till mine get to that age. But like it was just I don't want to ruin that for somebody if it's
Yeah.
their one time or they've been trying to plan this.
Oh, we've ruined
or-
plenty of other people's.
Yeah,
days.
I
It's just
know.
part
I
of
mean,
it.
it happens.
That's why I'm like, I get that side, but at the same time, I'm like, we got to get them.
It happens, but I also
experiencing
knew
things like
Sunday
that.
was coming too. So and I knew we had a full day planned. So I was like, man, we need to be in bed by 7:30.
You never let us do anything fun.
Never lets us
Justin.
do anything fun. Ugh.
Well, we did it.
We did.
we did.
And he put on, he didn't eat, but he put on a.
Well, no, there's no chance to eat. There's no chance both of us eat. When we
See,
go to
you
a place
always
with
talk
them.
about how fast I eat. Now you know what it is. It's
Yeah.
just I got kids. I'm about to see how fast I can shove this down my throat,
Yeah,
and then I'll be ready.
and then you get to play defense. Yeah,
Like, it's all defense.
yeah, yeah. I get it.
We kind of lucked
Like-
out though. When our kids, the boys, were that stage, the world shut down for reasons you don't want to say on YouTube.
Yeah, they'll
Um,
flag you.
they'll
Yeah,
flag you and they'll be like, "Oh, this is CDC." Anyway, so we never went to restaurants. Then we took them at like the next year, like 2021, and it was like, nope, I'm never going anywhere again.
See, that's what I want to try to avoid. I want to get them used to it so that when we do take them out places, that they
Not
won't be
slinging
complete banshees.
Spaghetti on the walls.
yeah. And instead, they were just driving concrete trucks down the
See, that's
middle aisle.
and that's all. As long as you give them a truck or a monster truck or something,
Hey,
they.
your kids are cute. Other
Yeah.
people's aren't. That's the truest
And
thing.
then
on it.
them
Everybody
being-
thinks their own kids are cute.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, there's somebody out there that thinks your kid's ugly.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, your kids might be ugly. My kid might be
It's
ugly.
just
I don't
fact.
know.
Yeah, and then that's what everything was fine until Ben's got up and started dancing, and then the boys were like, "Oh, I'm getting off this table. I'm getting off this little seat where I've been confined, and we about to have a dance party."
Yeah, that was on me.
Yeah,
My
well, it
kids have
ain't
been-
on you. Like I thought it was hilarious, and then Waylon decided he wanted to like do the worm or something and crawl on the floor of the restaurant. I was
Yeah.
like, "Come on, son, get up."
We were in the
Like,
dead
this is-
center. Too. I got to talk to you. Y'all chose the seats. We're corner people. You got to corner them.
Well,
Yeah.
at the time when we first walked in, there weren't corner seats
Yeah,
available.
we went for the biggest, longest avenue for them to drive those trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't want to be around nobody.
It wasn't about
We-
us. It was about how can we keep these kids contained.
Yeah, how can we give them the biggest space to drive these concrete trucks while she tries to eat? And then Waylon ate a little bit, which is surprising. Jackson, nothing. And then as soon as we closed the door, you want something to eat? No. We closed the door on the cart. Snacks? I
Snack?
was like,
Snack?
we were just in a place
Yeah,
that
nice.
had everything that
I
you
got
would
one of
have
those.
wanted. And no, I just want to drive my truck. And then we closed the door on the truck, on her car. And snacks? Snacks? Like, oh my gosh. All right, dude. Whatever. I don't know how the kid's going to survive.
They
I don't-
do, though.
How do,
They do.
yeah, I don't know how. When do they start eating? Like,
They don't.
I don't.
I legitimately don't think my middle child Benz consumes more than a roll and maybe a fruit gummy a day.
Allison and I talk about that. She really makes me feel better
And
about
I'm
the
like,
situation.
How are you still alive?
Well, what's weird is they will go 5 days where it feels like they don't eat 500 calories. And then on day 6,
They're eating everything in
they
sight.
will eat everything that you put in front of them. And then you're like, oh, cool, man.
And they'll even try new things.
Yeah, they'll eat this now, and then you give them something the next day, and they're like, I don't like it. That's their favorite. I can't like it. That's their favorite. That's their favorite. I can't like it. I don't like it, or I can't like that. I can't like that.
Gosh, I hear it in my sleep.
I'm like, and now the new ones, help me.
Help me.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you little. Waylon will drop his car, be standing there looking at, help me. I'm like, bend down and pick it up.
I feel like they're getting that from your mom though, because she loves those boys so much. She does everything for them. She picks up all their stuff.
That's grandmama.
And they've been staying with her for 2 days a week while I work. So
which is fine, but I just
she's
look at
earned
it.
the right.
Oh yeah, hey man, I'm ready.
Oh, she's absolutely earned the
Look,
right.
I love them kids, but I'm kind of ready to be a grandpa. Like I get to see the stuff she gets away with.
Hold on.
Like, oh yeah.
Hold up.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
Hey, that's part of it.
Yeah. You put in the work with them, and then you get to do the other.
You got married and raised, and now I'm fixing to show you.
Yeah,
what I went through.
Yeah, and then you,
But before you can be a grandpa, you might have to have another one.
Another what? Another who?
What do you say?
We're not in agreement on that.
No, we're in agreement. You sent me to the urologist. We are in agreement. I am
regret
not.
that though.
I've taken us down a road. You're welcome, fans.
It can be reconnected.
No, it cannot.
I'm going to let these two talk. This is John David signing off. Go ahead, Brittany.
Listen, if it is in God's will,
it can be done.
I would absolutely carry another baby. I wouldn't prefer to have two babies. I'd like to just experience one.
That's where this gets crazy.
But when he went and got that done,
snip, snap.
Boy.
When he got that done,
snap.
I
know a guy.
I was in the thick of taking care of twins. I don't even remember the first year. I was surviving in the worst way possible. So I was like, you're not touching me. You will not touch me until that is snipped. And now we're 2.5 years in, and I can breathe, and the darkness has subsided. And now I'm like, I could do it again.
Mark said,
not with me.
Hey,
one more.
I'm not your cowboy.
I want a girl. I
don't know.
A girl would be
you know who the problem is?
Your wife?
Lottie.
Yeah. Well,
Lottie's the rudest kid on earth. I promise. Let me send her over.
Lottie.
Nope.
So here's
one of these.
So y'all started with 2 boys, right? Then had a little girl.
Very close together. And
our friends,
about 2.5 years later, had a little princess.
Our friends, the Holdmans.
Yeah, same situation.
Same way. And the rooster is the coolest little kid. She's a cool little girl for now.
Yeah.
Like, the problem with girls. No offense, I love you, dear.
I know we're crazy,
but hormones are coming.
Yeah.
At least with boys, you know what's coming? Stink.
Yeah.
Like they just gonna stink. Like
hormones are a wild ride. It's a dragon that you got to learn.
Especially for females. Like that's a different deal. And I just
Mark, I'm sorry to do
they're all
this to
crazy. It's just a different
look,
thing.
A crazy that we don't necessarily have control over.
And don't have it. I can't help it.
Let me tell you
that
something.
Is precious.
When we were
My
told
ovaries right now.
when we were told
that's the most precious thing I've ever seen.
Look, you're not gonna find
Look at her little dress.
You're not gonna find a guy that I was so cool with being a boy and girl father when we were told it was a boy and a girl. Like, I was like, all right, cool, man. That's tight.
And I think that's why I'm holding on to it, because up until the anatomy scan, we were actually supposed to have a boy and a girl.
Yeah, they scanned it and you look and there was Waylon's penis, And so like, it's like, well, that ain't a girl.
Hold on. Quick question for y'all though. What the first time y'all were only having one, right?
Yeah, the first ultrasound was just one baby.
One baby, 2 babies, boy, girl, 2 penises.
Every time we went into the office,
I told them quit saying anything.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
we're done.
A guy came up to me that we all know. I'm not going to announce their baby for him, so we're going to leave names out of it.
Yeah.
And he said on Easter, he was like, "Hey man, going to be a dad." I was like, "Man, congrats. You've been to the doctor and everything?" He's like, "Yeah, had our first one." I said, "Well, Martin had his first one and there was only one." Because he literally said, "It's only one, though." And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. And so then
don't count them chickens, buddy.
Wait till the second.
I said, there might be 2. He's like, "No, there's only one." I said, "That's how it was for Martin." And he goes, And then he went to tell Allison, and he goes, "But we're not sure if it's one or two yet."
Well, that's
She told me that story. I said, "I'm the
Well,
one that
that's
put
sure.
the fear in him."
I still have the picture of us from the first ultrasound of us holding the ultrasound, and it was just.
I remember vividly we walked out of that office and said, we beat it.
Listen up, everybody. I want to take a moment to talk about something that you may not know affects you, but it affects a lot of us. Do you feel exhausted, weighed down, and struggle to get through the day?
Boy, do I.
The culprit might be right under your nose, about
My mustache?
18 inches, a little left of the stomach, right around your small and large intestines. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about your liver, because it might be a sluggish, overworked liver that you got going on, Martin. Here's the reality. Your liver is under constant attack from processed foods, environmental toxins, GMOs, microplastic, fluorides, and a bunch of other stuff we don't even know about. And over time, this is going to take a serious toll. A staggering 100 million Americans now suffer from an overworked or sluggish liver, according to the American Liver Foundation, who I believe probably knows more about livers than anybody else. That's nearly 1 in every 3 people. If you're ready to reclaim your vitality, I highly recommend giving your liver the support it desperately needs with Liver Health Formula from our sponsor, Pure Health Research. This cutting-edge supplement combines 11 powerful, clinically proven natural ingredients to detoxify and rejuvenate your liver at the cellular level, so you'll experience more energy and optimize metabolism. This company has already helped more than 2 million Americans. It's time you joined their ranks and got back to feeling your best. If you've learned anything through listening to us for however many episodes we've been on, we're just regular dudes trying to live healthy lives so we can be the best dads, granddads, co-workers we can be. And you hear us talk about our health all the time. And this is another thing we've added to the repertoire to make sure our liver is firing on all cylinders. Look, and as a special offer to our listeners, you can try Liver Health Formula with a discount of 35%. Use discount code DUCK at checkout. This is an exclusive offer for our audience. To claim your 35% discount, just visit purehealthresearch.com and enter discount code DUCK at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, discount code DUCK, to take the first step towards living better liver health and more vibrant living today.
I'm a boy mom though. I just feel like I wouldn't know the first thing about having a girl.
Yeah, you and a girl would be really cool till she got about 8.
And then we would have beef.
Then y'all would be.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's always that. It's crazy,
Lottie got beef at 6.
but it is.
It is crazy.
No, it is.
So.
Because they both love each other, okay?
Yeah.
But you talking about some knockdown, drag out.
But I see it too now. Like when you're in the thick of that stuff, like the boys are a lot of fun right now.
Yeah.
Like they're a lot, and they like each other most of the time. I mean, they still do what kids.
Well,
do.
hey,
they fight over
They
the
love and they
stupidest thing.
hate.
you'll see some of that as they get older.
Yeah,
That hey, big brother or little brother, whichever way they look at it, hey, don't mess with him.
oh, that's coming. Yeah, because right now
Yeah.
it's monkey see, monkey do with
Yeah.
them. Like if one of them gets to doing something and the other one ain't doing nothing, then they just go do the exact same. Like
Yeah.
which is where a lot of the fights come from.
Right.
Like, because
I witnessed a fight this morning.
did you?
Yeah, Lottie came and set her breakfast down beneath the couch and backed into Benz's feet and goes, "Daddy kicked me." And I was like,
Oh.
"No, he didn't." So then he did kick her. So he could be like, "No, I did." And I'm like, "Hey, what are we doing? It's 6:15 in the morning."
Have kids, they said.
That's what Jackson will do. Jackson hates being yelled at, getting loud things. He's
He
just not a big
does.
fan of it. So Waylon will just yell at him.
He'll get up right in his face and go, ah!
Yeah, it
Just
just and then
no
he'll
reason.
turn to us like we're supposed to do something. I'm like, son, he didn't do anything to you. You just gotta quit.
But Waylon knows what he's doing. He's
Oh,
like, I
100%.
know that I'm not physically touching
but
him.
he's pushing the button.
Oh yeah,
He knows where
He
to
knows
push
the
the
button.
button. Oh yeah.
Well, and Jackson does the same thing because
yeah.
he knows he's faster than Waylon.
He's
so
way
when
faster.
He'll take a toy that Waylon likes and he'll just hold it out in front of him.
And then take off
And then
running.
boom, zoom, zoom, take off running.
That's
Like,
good.
yeah. And I mean, he's like, yeah, catch me. He just wants to be chased all the time
Yeah,
for
he
some reason.
does.
I don't know. It's weird because he's chunky, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't think that'd be the normal
No,
thing.
he's faster than he looks.
But yeah, he's
Hey, in my house, you'll look up and Carter's running from Lottie. Like she'll be chasing him with something, and he's like, "Dad, make her stop." I said, "You're twice her size, man.
You can make her
I
stop.
said, you can end this right now. But he's just not a violent kid. He's like,
Yeah.
I ain't fighting nobody. I was
Yeah,
like,
that seems to be Jackson's
Yeah.
MO right now. He's a lover, not a fighter.
He submits. If
Yeah.
like Waylon wants to come grab a toy out of his,
Yeah,
he
he'll
might
swap.
resist for a second, but then he'll be like, "All right, here."
Here, I don't want you to yell at me. Please
Yeah,
stop.
he doesn't like
Like,
being yelled at.
yeah, so it's a lot of fun right now. So I get where you could be talked into having another one, but I think we're a good family right now. We're good. We still ain't figured this out, Jeff. Man,
no, neither have we.
yeah.
Just had another one.
I mean, yeah, just keep on, huh?
Just one more.
Did you, whenever you went to that doctor, did he explain to you, did you go to the guy that looks like Santa Claus?
No, I went to a
Dr.
young guy.
Marks? Okay.
Yeah, I went to a young
He
guy.
explained to me that there is a pretty easy process.
No,
To get
He
it
said-
undone?
He said
Yeah, just
consider.
reconnect it.
He said
No. You don't reconnect it at this point.
No, he said consider it permanent. That's what he told me.
I mean,
He
that-
said you
yeah.
can do something. He said, but just trust me, you don't want to. And I was like, okay, whatever. Let's do this.
What,
man.
like the reversal process?
you never
is
get it
worse
reversed.
than-
No, reverse. You can go get it drawn. You can. There's.
Yes, and then you, and then it's
Wow.
bam.
Yeah.
That's
But-
aggressive.
It's not near as fun as the original way that they intended.
That God intended. Yeah. So I'm considering it permanent.
I'm not gonna lie. In some of my prayers at night, I'm like, Lord, if it is your will, you have the power
Yeah.
to.
And he does.
Let
and
one slip
he
on
does,
through.
and he does, and he can, and he may, and
Well, I think so.
but
yeah.
that's up
Yeah.
to him.
He's got that. That's for sure.
I have made mine. My bed is made.
But go ahead, and if you're gonna do it because I'm about to be 34 and I don't want.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know you,
You poor thing.
old 40 over
Bless
here.
her heart.
Yeah, you poor thing.
Are you poor
We did have
thing?
someone
Bless her
ask what
little
Mark's
heart.
midlife crisis is going to be, and I hope it's a little girl now because that would
Oh,
just
boy, I
make
love
me die. Like,
Could you imagine?
I just don't want to go
he
back.
just gave me a
through-
look.
I don't want to go back through some of them early stages, but I mean, like now, if they could pop out of like 2.5, that'd be cool.
But just think about just how easy it would be if we just had one.
Are you
if you had
Are you
3?
forgetting about the other two
Yeah, but
that
they'll
we
be
still have
older.
to take care of?
They'll be more self-sufficient. Like
They-
when we had the
more
boys, it was
self-sufficient.
2 infants that literally could do nothing for themselves.
They won't
I
even
love
go
it.
pee
I
on
love
the
it.
grass, and you're calling them self-sufficient. They're
They're
not going to be
getting there.
self-sufficient for another 3 years.
But they're getting there.
They're
Carter can make
Oh,
popcorn.
boy.
Hey,
there you go.
self-sufficient.
Look,
Microwave.
Lindsay's kid here yesterday. If you wonder why the office smells weird, Finley is a great child. She's 10 out of 10 recommend if you got a daughter.
She's been on the pod.
She's been. Oh yeah, Finley's been here. I forgot about that. You consider her self-sufficient, right? She's 12, probably, maybe a little older, or somewhere around there, 10,
I'm
12,
going to say a
something.
year or two older than Carter.
Yeah. She's made ramen noodles up here before. She
Oh,
makes
she-
ramen noodles yesterday.
You burn them.
She didn't put any water in.
Oh, you can blow up a microwave doing
Yeah.
that.
So
Sound like
when you
somebody that knows.
when you
Yeah, I've done it.
consider self-sufficient, let's consider the sources here. Like, you know.
That microwave's been in danger before. Back whenever I first started, Stone's oldest, Carly, at about 8 or 9, walked into the store, looked at me and goes, "There's a fire."
Oh,
And walked out, and I said, "What?" And I ran in, and there was just a fire coming out of the microwave because she put a mustard packet in it and hit start.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. See? That's what I mean, like, yeah.
self-sufficient enough that we could have another baby.
Yeah. And it'll probably be of the canine variety. The next child.
I ain't
we
doing no dogs. I'd have another kid before I had another dog.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Another kid before the dog because I'm drowning in dog hair and I love our dog so much. She was our first child, but
Yeah, we've already had a girl.
yeah,
Her name's Jude. She'll be 11 this year, so our time's running thin, I'm
it
sure.
is. Don't
So-
say that.
Well, that took a dark turn.
No, I'm just saying that's the problem with a dog is most of them you're going to outlive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the
If we
problem.
go down the dog route, I might cry, but I've
I'll definitely cry.
We're not going. down
we
the
we
dog
talked
route.
about it recently, and I've made my peace. I'm good on dogs. I'm good on dogs like Martin's good on kids.
Yeah,
I don't need another one.
I mean, I could be talked into a turtle.
Nope.
You know?
I don't want
He
anything
loves turtles, dude.
unless it's like Michelangelo. I'm out on turtles.
Well, I mean, I would go for a box turtle over one of them that requires like a water deal, but like
I just don't.
They smell though.
I have
now-
reached the self-sufficient stage where, like, if I want to leave town, I ain't got to worry about no dog.
Very true.
I don't like a box turtle's friends.
the
I had one growing up.
rattlesnake box turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We our house used to be infested with centipedes.
I
and
would. Yeah,
It earned its keep because it would go
Oh,
through eating the centipedes in our
nice.
house.
You just had a turtle that roamed free.
Yeah.
He's a free range.
where's he gonna go?
Yeah. We gave him water.
He ain't
He
gonna
just
run.
ate the centipedes.
He ain't gonna run out the door on you.
But was he house trained
Johnny D, turtle poop, you wouldn't ever even notice that, man.
in your home?
A little box turtle, yeah, you're not gonna notice that.
All right,
Like-
y'all are on your own.
but I would say right now, with the boys' current obsession, we're trending towards some sort of lizard.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
obsessed
yeah.
with lizards, which I'm not
Oh.
excited about. But
If
They
you want
love-
an animal, the Monroe Zoo's available, and those are basically house cats anyway.
They love catching lizards right now. Like
They do.
they just look at you and go catch a lizard,
Or
and then you watch them. They like sneak up.
They-
like,
they do the
like they
sneak
want
up,
to
they
be
go
like a
sneak
baby
up.
cheetah, but then they don't know what to do once they get there. And the lizard's like, "All right, bro, I'm
yeah,
out."
then they look at dad and they're like,
Yeah.
pick this up.
Yeah, can you catch him for me and let me pet him, and then we'll put him back.
that was a great episode, and I think Si nailed it on the Bible verse. We're gonna call it our Hooters verse.
Oh,
Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future.
And
Don't get stuck in your Hooters. Is
And-
that the tagline?
Yeah, don't get stuck in here. And if Hooters management reads this and y'all put that verse on a shirt, we just want some credit. That's all we're saying.
Don't get stuck in your Hooters.
Yeah, don't get
I
stuck
believe
in the
it's now
Hooters.
called Hoots.
Hoots.
I was just about to say, I just don't see how they can be family friendly and still be called Hooters.
I think they're switching to Hoots.
Okay,
Hoots. There you go.
Like Toots.
Well, it's just
Um,
modestly dressed and pay.
Yeah.
you go. We're
Hey,
wearing
I'm
it.
here for it because I'm here for
Let
it.
the imagination take over.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You go Hooters.
Yeah, I'm
Who-
serious. You know?
I'm going to Wingstop.
You know?
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time right here in the Duck Call Room. We're out.